Hey there, Toonami faithful, and welcome back aboard Toonami Absolution, where we talk about the shows that made us us and the shows that made you you. Once again, we are your hosts. My name is Alyx.
I'm Sam.
And I'm John, Cowboy Bebop and Knocking on Heaven's Door, or Cowboy Bebop the movie. Japanese debut September 1st, 2001, US debut April 4th, 2003. I want to quickly start this by making a request to our audience.
Hmm.
I have distinct memories of this airing on Adult Swim, but I haven't been able to find any proof of it. So I'm unsure if it was a Toonami UK only thing, if maybe it was an extended trailer on pre-flight that I saw and just thought the whole film was shown. I can't find any record of it. So if anyone can work that out, it would make me feel less insane.
I don't remember
Oh,
seeing it in on Toonami or Adult Swim in the States. I remember seeing the DVD for it. That's my exposure to Cowboy Bebop the movie.
It
we did have
may
the DVD.
Maybe it was a DVD promo I saw on TV then.
Yeah.
But the question is now, Sam, why did you pick it?
So whenever I finish Cowboy Bebop, the logical chaser after, the end of it all is to watch the movie because even though, yeah, I had acknowledged the ending and Spike's dead and all that stuff, it still stands as kind of like a nice, pleasant, like, hey, buddy, we have another adventure with these guys that you didn't see before. Oh yeah, and there's some really awesome fights that are so good. Naruto's gonna rip at least one of them off. Oh, and it's got just like it's the most awesome, kind of distillation of the series, I think. It maybe loses the momentum after the train fight. But but other than that, it's pretty good. So yeah, I always since we just wrapped Cowboy Bebop, I have to put on the movie as kind of a coda.
Can can I just point out any movie that opens with Earth Girls Are Easy immediately makes my day.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's a great film. I right from the opening, I love the kind of like hazy animation quality uh that it's still very distinctly Bebop, and still very distinctly like our buddies at Sunrise. But yeah, I love the kind of hazy quality that you see with like the convenience store fight. I love Jennifer Hale as we get Jennifer Hale. We get
Yay.
Commander Shepard herself. So kind of showing up here. So yeah, it's just a good time. I love the fact that it's technically a Halloween movie. I think that gets
Yep.
left out of the discussion a lot.
It is
Yeah.
technically a Halloween film.
So yeah,
I
it's good.
Oh, I do have a question about this movie though, because I've watched it a couple times and I've always kind of wondered about it. And maybe, John, you or usually will have the answer. Why is there so much licensed music in this film,
We
considering how
have
much Kano had to have?
we had the money.
Fair.
There's no official sort of line on it. I presume it's just there is budget to bring other musicians. I'm not sure what Kana was doing at this time. She puts a few pieces on here, but it would make sense that for a bigger production we can actually have licensed tracks for the first time, and we have a lot more tracks with lyrics in this, which is a thing. Yeah, you'll notice this looks better because we have three studios involved. This is Sunrise Bones and Bandai Visual because this is after Bones span off, but they came back to finish the job for this.
Yeah.
It does have that Studio Bones energy to it a little bit. Like there are certain things that over time Bones would come to have a lot of, and you can see the foundations of that in this movie.
Yeah.
Them Bones.
And Bones.
Them bones, them bones.
I love how this film looks because it's much more modern than we've seen of Bebop. It's one of the most amazing things that we start off, oh, we're on Mars, and it's the least Martian place in the world.
Yeah,
Like, it's just very modern urban. Like,
yeah.
even more than Cowboy Bebop's previous urban spaces.
I was thinking about that rewatching it because there are sequences and episodes in Cowboy Bebop that are set in urban areas, but this is almost exclusively, or maybe exclusively, in a city,
Yeah.
in a multi-neighborhood, like, I
They're in New York. Like
there
they straight up walked out of the subway.
there's the New York subway, but there's also like basically Marrakesh. Like
Yeah.
there's and there's an Eiffel Tower or Tokyo Tower or whatever edifice you want to ascribe it to in the smack dab in the middle of a gaudy Halloween parade. I love the mishmash kind of quality to this Martian city.
There's a lot here that kind of made me think about Badlands Rumble. And I
Hmm.
can't quite put my finger on it, but something about like the flow of the motion in it and like the setting that they were in really reminded me of big parts of Badlands Rumble. And I don't have a good explanation for why.
I agree with you. I think it's partially because they use a very similar format in that we're going to almost the classic sort of West or Wanderer Western trope. Because this isn't really Spike's story again. Spike is being pulled into this story, but he is still like he's the man with no name who has come into city and has found, oh, okay, there's an outlaw and I got to deal with him.
Yeah.
But the main thrust of the emotional core of this film is Electra and Vincent. Spike isn't part of that. I think that's the same thing which Trigun did, where that's Gaspac and his gang are the main core of that film, and just Vash is walking through. So I can see the connection. And
Yeah.
again, like by the it's a rare film we've had on this show, which is based on a show but would work as a self-contained narrative. You could 100% show this to someone. It does a good job of setting up who each character is.
Yeah. You could also argue that Faye gets closer to Vincent and all them than Spike does.
Yeah.
At least from the Vincent perspective. Spike gets closer to Elektra from his perspective. Which is interesting. They each kind of get to. I love the scene and where they're both jailed towards the end of the film, and it's the one time where Spike isn't so swarmy and cocky around Elektra, right? That's one of my like that little bit.
Vincent
I
looks like a Soul Eater character, and I cannot unsee it.
he's like Vicious if like Vicious was ported to Soul Eater. Like if he turned up at one of the games.
Like there's something very like Kingdom Hearts, Soul Eater, like very his design screams My Hero Academia in a weird way, like years before My Hero came out. And I don't I think it's because of the floatiness of his design compared to everybody else around him that's making me think that. But I saw him again and I was like, wow, that is a Studio Bones character design that they like grabbed from somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got an unusual aesthetic for the series. Always like the visual of him like descending down on Spike in the climactic fight. You
Yeah,
know,
it's
that's a Final Fantasy villain entrance, by the way.
it's so Sephiroth.
Yeah.
It's like I think I've said this about Vicious a couple times and his like JRPG energy,
Yeah, the
but
sword. Yeah.
but Vincent also has that JRPG vibe to him, and I love that in comparison to Elektra, who does not have that going on at all.
I also love how they do a really good job of making Vincent feel like his own character and putting him against Vicious. Because the thing with a lot of these anime movies is what you end up doing is you get the villain from the main show and give them a new color and they're Robo, whatever. I like how they approach him very, very differently. Like how he talks is very different. I especially love how he fights Spike because remember this fight with Spike and Vicious is that very classic Kurosawa samurai where they're pacing around and it's one strike. Vincent, it's a brawl. Like Vicious is so committed to his sword that he will only use that. Vincent doesn't care. Vincent will he'll punch you, he'll kick you, he'll stab you, he'll do whatever it takes.
Yeah.
I love it. Makes them feel so different.
Yeah. He
He'll
uses the
kiss you on a
gun.
table.
Yeah. He'll stab you with his fingers.
Yeah,
I like that. Is it like iron claws? I guess.
Yeah,
very,
Bruce
very
Lee uses that
JoJo.
as a well. Bruce Lee uses as a finishing move in Big Boss as well. Just like
Oh.
which I suppose if we're going Bruce Lee and based on Spike's kick-heavy fighting style at the end, we are. Yeah, that all tracks.
Every fight scene Spike gets in this film is so good. The fight choreography in this film is some of the best fight choreography in film, I would argue.
Yes.
Yeah, I like even the planes of the dogfight in this is really, really good. I think this is definitely an area where you can see the extra money really, really helped them.
Yeah.
I think
Like Spike and Elektra having that fight with him whipping the broom around and and how smooth all of it feels and you can track every piece of that's how I judge action scenes. Can I track every piece of the action and know what happened when? And this does a good job of doing that without making it slow. And that's impressive as hell.
and it
100%.
People are
strikes that
flexing.
really, really nice balance where you do get people using fancy moves, but they never lose weight.
Hmm.
Like there's never a point where you're like, well, why do that? Everything there is a nice logic to these battles.
I'll say this, we're recording this at a time when we're fresh off the success of Demon Slayer, Infinity Castle, and Chainsaw Man Reze Arc. Was this one successful, John?
In America, it made over 1 million.
Okay.
Worldwide total over 3 million.
For
Uh,
2003, that's not bad.
Not bad at all. It was not really promoted dramatically heavily. It didn't get much marketing. Very limited release overall. Not as bad as some of the ones we saw, but we're still in the sort of that era of like My Name is Totoro, where it's like 100 cinemas, 200 cinemas,
Hmm.
and not all at the same time over a couple of months. So a very good performance overall. And it did very, very well in Japan. Famously, Bandai Namco totally got their estimates wrong how many DVDs would sell. Meaning that the first run of the DVD sold out nearly immediately. It became hot property for a while until they had to rush a second run out because it sold so many copies.
I will say, just brief personal thing aside, of the three anime movies that my dad was really into, it was this, Vampire Hunter D, and Vampire Hunter D, the second movie. Like it was those three anime films that my dad was super into, and that's why we had the DVD in 2004. So like that's when I watched it at age 12. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah,
from my grasp, this is definitely one that did in America did much better on DVD. I think again because of that limited release. I think it's also a case of this is sort of before the era where anime movies being standalone was a thing. We're kind of entering that era at this point, but I think a lot of the audience like, well, this is a TV show I watch on TV. I'm going to go watch it on home media.
Hmm.
and I think, if you think about American home movie releases, like when it came to animation, we were used to things like Return of Jafar or like the many, many direct to video Disney sequels. And there were a handful of real gems in those direct to video Disney sequels. But I think we were like, when you heard direct to video, you would think like, oh, it's not as pretty. There's not as much money that went into it. And I think that has shifted a lot in the last 20 years.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Not just animated direct-to-video stuff though. I remember seeing stuff like the Scorpion King sequels and it was great to
Oh, right. I
yeah.
forgot that movie had sequels.
Yeah.
it had many sequels.
Oh God.
Never with Dwayne Johnson, but yes.
They couldn't
No,
afford him at that point.
even
Yeah.
he was like, "This is a bit bad.
Yeah. Yeah. But
I have found my flaw."
Dwayne the Scorpion Johnson.
yeah.
Uh,
I do like talking about how Vincent speaks. One of the things that one of the recurring motifs or themes in the series was kind of Spike treating like the idea of dream imagery, the idea of like, oh, life is just a dream, or am I dreaming? And Vincent kind of echoes that, but in a very dark way, in the I'm going to massacre a Halloween parade way. Um, you know, which I always found to be an interesting contrast to Spike. Um, I also like that the first time Spike sees Vincent, he's still kind of jokey, fresh off his encounter, kind of flirty encounter with Elektra. And the second time when they're fighting at the Eiffel Tower, he's like, "No, fuck you, man. Like, we're gonna do this."
Yeah,
So
Screw you and the hot topic you walked out of.
I think you could argue that Vincent is a dark Spike in that this is kind of an idea that because they have very similar stories of being these men who were part of something that then they had to leave. Spike isn't perfect, but he was able to move on ever so slightly and didn't dwell on it. I think, though, I think Spike would see himself a bit like this. Vincent, I think it reminds me of the episode where he talked with the blind woman,
Yeah.
where he was like, "I could have stolen that. No one knows," but he still just has that faint bit of goodness in him that he can't bring himself to do it, however much he says he's the outlaw.
yeah,
And even here, it's like, yeah, he can't I can't stand by and let this happen.
yeah, yeah. I mean, that's kind of that's the honor, the flawed nobility of our Lord and Savior Spike Spiegel. Um,
Hey,
uh,
tis the season.
yeah. You know who doesn't get anything to do in this movie? Jet.
Jet. Jet has nothing to do. He goes to see a cowboy movie. He talks to a couple people. Profit.
Yeah.
He arranges a nice fly past.
Yeah,
Even it feels
sure.
like even Ed gets more to do than than Jet in this one.
Ed in the pumpkin outfit trick or treating on Mars to find the perp is so good.
Oh, I love the bit after where he just immediately runs off when he sees other children. It's a really cute moment we don't get in the show. It was like, oh yeah, yeah, it's a kid. Still,
Yeah.
it's cool to see him get to play with other kids for a brief period and not his group of 30-year-old losers.
Yeah. The teenage crypto genius and the 30-year-old losers they hang around.
I like Faye's entrance into this too, where she's just cruising Mars, bopping out, and then she happens to stumble into a terrorist attack.
Yeah.
I love Faye in this film. One of my favorite moments when she confronts the guy at the VR game and
Mm.
pulls the real gun. She has such a shit-eating grin on her face in a tone like, I have wanted to do this for years.
And
Kind
his
of.
reaction is so good too. It's like, how are you going to pay me back for almost getting to the end of this? The gamer rage is so real.
It's
Like the kind of thing you only see in Call of Duty lobbies.
And I love you get that Faye's expression really good. You get the moment you can sort of see in her eyes going, I could just clip him.
I
yeah.
could just kill him right now.
Also, like it's like macabrely amusing that he's like as he's dying, he's still thinking about it, you know, as one does. Because it's if you don't
Press my
get that,
reset button.
yeah, if you don't get that platinum trophy, golly, still
Also,
Hey,
missing the,
how harrowing that death scene is. It's actually really well done.
yeah,
yeah,
that the coughing and like the slow buildup of it and how you're like suffocating to death. Like that's horrifying.
yeah, yeah,
And then Faye gets a big old smooch.
yeah. Bummer,
Yeah,
my guy.
because that's how we get vaccines in the future.
Yeah, vaccines in the future are delivered by French kissing.
Kiss the military man, and
Yeah,
I don't care. I don't care what the
all
French
better.
call it.
Yeah.
oh, we should point out this does have an official position in the series. You can watch this in canon. It takes place between episodes 22 and 23.
Yeah, which makes sense because Ed's still a part of the Bebop
The
crew.
Bebop
Yep.
crew.
The old Cowboy Bebop website, when it's talking about this, literally mentions that they're just before the characters go their separate ways. So this could be your last chance to see Spike, Jet, Faye, Ed, and Ein together,
And
which is both the rest of them in a really dark, joking context.
yeah, yeah. But I have to say, I mean, Spike bounced back in health wise pretty good after getting shot and dropped out of a moving subway car.
Hey, being shot when you're Spike Spiegel only counts when you let it count.
I mean, that's pretty much what Running Bull basically tells him. He's like, this wasn't a good time for you to die, so he just didn't. Like, Spike is just positive thinking.
Yeah. If you wish really hard, the bullet is not going to take out your vital organs.
That's
One
why,
thing,
yeah, it's why Vicious uses a sword successfully in a couple episodes.
one
Bullets
thing
do
I
nothing.
really like about this film is I think it does do a really good job of playing off the ending of Bebop. I think whenever a show comes back to do a new adventure tucked in the middle, there's the risk it feels cheap. This feels they use the dramatic irony to really boost the tension. And I think they do a really good job of one. I always like the virus plot here because the writers were sensible and realized, well, we can't put Spike in peril because the audience already know he survived. So we have to put other people in peril. And it's a peril that's set up in a way that technically they could flee. There is an option there for them to flee the planet, and that will still work for the next episode. There
Mhm.
is Spike could lose this fight acceptably. Even with the train fight, they don't tease that Spike is dead. They tease how he's going to get out of it. They actually, yeah, it isn't just like we've made a new story and we slotted it in. Like this is very clearly playing to people who have seen that last episode and know how the story ends.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I like how clever that has to be. Like because I I love Dragon Ball. I love Dragon Ball movies. None of them really work in canon all that much if you think about it too hard until you get to, Battle of the Gods and all that. So I appreciate the sheer effort that went into this.
The total is four. Four Dragon Ball movies work in canon.
And they're all after Battle of the
Like-
Gods and
or no,
after.
no, like it's Dead Zone works. Cooler's Revenge technically works. I
Does
guess
it?
yeah. BoJack Unbound works. Um, Actually, five work. BoJack Unbound works. Yeah, because Cooler's Revenge could happen while they're in the 3 years while they're training for the androids.
But the
Um,
logo on Goku is wrong.
no, that's fair. Maybe he was getting like laundry or something done.
That's fair.
Yeah. Um,
I'll
it's
take
gonna
it.
be yeah. Also, BoJack Unbound works because Cell Games or after the Cell Games, the 7 year gap, and Wrath of the Dragon works because it takes place after the Battle of Boo, but um before the arrival of Beerus.
I'll take it. I'll take
Yeah.
it. I will take my licks here. I do think you have to kind of struggle for some of them though. Like
You do
I
have to
think that
struggle for like Cooler is the one you have to struggle for the most.
cool. You got to struggle with Cooler's Revenge. Like
Yeah.
I do have to I have to be a little nitpicky on Cooler's Revenge there.
Yeah, all because of the kanji. All because of the kanji.
All because of the kanji. Straight up because of the kanji.
I mean, Battle of Gods, you also have to wonder if it happened twice because it also happens at the start of the anime. So did Beerus do it and then come back like 2 months later? Like, actually, can we do that again?
I mean, to be fair, they did Superman reverse time in Res F, so maybe we're just seeing it over again, you know.
The end credits just whiz going too far, too far, too far.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think Res F, those are adapted into Super. I mean, the Super movies work. The real question is, what the hell does Daima have to do with all of this?
Daima is what Goku has after eating too much cheese. It's all a dream.
Yeah.
Daima is Goku's lactose dream.
Yeah.
Pansy is a GT Goku in disguise.
Actually, that kind of makes sense. Get that on the internet. Let's spread misinformation, you guys.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure Boom Studio would love us.
Toei's revving up their legal department right now. But anyway, back to
No,
Cowboy.
But
No, the letters.
I do think that because I think coming back to Bebop must have been a worry for the team after like they had that big ending and they already made lots of jokes about we won't be doing a follow up to then come back for a movie a couple of years later. That was a risk, but I think
That's a big risk.
They did a good job of justifying this, making it work and paying respect. And again, playing off the audience's knowledge in a way that makes this feel like this isn't just like the studio turned up with a bucket of money and we're like, okay, this feels like they had a story they wanted to tell here that has a theme.
My question is in the behind the scenes of it all, where does Studio Manglobe and Samurai Champloo fit in all this? Because you've got Bones, you've got Sunrise, you've got Bandai. Do more people leave Sunrise to make Studio Manglobe?
I think so. Sunrise went through. I can't remember the exact details off the top of my head, but Sunrise had a lot of breakaways. To be fair, that happened quite a bit. That's kind of Sunrise's history of people do really well with them, then leave.
Yeah, I made 5 Gundams and now I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, I've worked for the biggest name, but probably till like the late '80s. I've worked for the biggest name value show in animation. It's pretty much a resume filler.
I shoved Domon Kashu into a skin tight outfit. I'm good to go.
Yeah.
I'm making my own studio where
Paptimus
Now
Scirocco.
everyone gets a skin tight outfit.
Yeah, if I can slip in a Paptimus Scirocco reference into every episode, I think we're good. I just love the name. Paptimus
I know.
Talking of weird folks, the guy from I think whoever was working on this was the guy from the Spaceship Columbia episode because we get more lovely rendered planes.
Yeah, beautiful planes, gorgeous planes. There's so much good machinery in this.
All the antique planes are like actual planes. There's a Spitfire in there, which I quite like, a Fokker, a Dretka, Fairy Swordfish, a Lightning. You get an Avenger, an F-18 Hornet. A lovely collection of planes.
Some dude who really likes aircraft models was working on this because like they're gorgeous. Like you could take any cell of this and make it into a poster for a plane collector and they would love it.
God, I hope there's a anime store in Harajuku that sells production cells, and if they have a Cowboy Bebop cell, Daddy's taking out a second mortgage.
No chance that you get that for below $8,000. No chance.
Yeah, I know.
You've got to carry that weight being loan payments.
Yeah.
So is Daddy getting that loan payment?
This is why we're just living on top ramen for the first half of 2026, baby.
Hey.
Talking of merch, I desperately want a poster of Faye's drawing of the criminal. when she's drawing
Oh,
on his
yeah,
computer.
yeah.
I want that framed in my bathroom. It's so funny.
Yeah.
So good.
It's maybe the best gag in the entire thing.
I was straight to eBay, like they must have made. Nope, it's not on anything. It's like, oh,
Yeah,
Can,
yeah.
can I just say another thing I really appreciate about this movie is a lot of times movies have to make the characters out of character in order to make the plot work. And this movie doesn't have to do that, and I really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's just for me, it's another day in the life of the Bebop crew. It just happens to be a little more serious, millions of lives at stake, sure. But, they're just on when the movie starts, they're just on another contract job they're still trying to, you
It's
know,
kind of like The Rock, but on Mars.
a little, yeah, yeah. Just another day in the life of Spike Spiegel and Faye Valentine and
again,
Nicolas
it's like
Cage.
it's
yeah.
like Jet says, you got to take down the big bounties if you want meat. That's literally the invoking incident. Is just Spike wants some steak.
He
Don't we?
all Spike wanted was a good meal that had some protein in it. And I can't be mad. You got to get some protein in your diet.
Yeah.
But we are close to the end, so my friends, as this is our final Bebop thing, unless John finds another weird live action special from
Don't
1979 that inspired the whole thing.
don't
What are
worry.
our final thoughts?
Uh, well, I was going to bring up one thing that made me very happy. They reference Captain Crunch in this, John Draper, which is very cool. One of the first guys to hack phone lines with using a whistle. That's a fun story if you ever want to look it up. This is great. This is one of those movies, again, I think I could show to someone with no anime knowledge, and it just functions as just a really nice movie. Does the Bebop story justice in a way that most films that come resurrect a franchise after 10 years, not 10 years, but after a couple of years fail to do. It was clear everyone in this knew that they hadn't lost the rhythm. They knew what they were doing, and it's an all-round good time, a really fun film. You should watch it. Like if you're watching Bebop, just watch this. Pretty simple.
Yeah. For me, I mean, it's like I was saying, it's a great coda to the series. Whenever I watch the series, I always chase it with this to get those bitter ending out of my mouth a bit. And just get one last fun-filled adventure with the Bebop crew. And so it was good to revisit this after watching the show again.
Yeah, I'm not going to say anything that's controversial here. It's a great movie. Even if you don't like anime, this is a great movie. It's a great action film. You can get everything that you need out of it. It's a great sci-fi film. The characters are great. It's, you know what? I'm going to say it. Controversial statement. Better than Jupiter Ascending. No, but for real, it is an extremely good movie, and I highly recommend it. But it is time for us to disembark from Toonami Absolution. That's right, we have reached our final destination. We want to thank you once again for talking about the shows that made us us and the shows that made you you. We have been your hosts. My name is Alyx,
I'm Sam.
And I'm John.
and we'll see you next time. Bang.